few things we need to talk about, including the statement that came out from the commissioner. The commissioner came out with a statement after what happened last week at Madison Square Garden. In an effort to find a path forward, New York Knicks owner Jim Dolan, Charles Oakley, and I met today at the league office along with Michael Jordan, who participated by phone. Both Mr. Oakley and Mr. Dolan were apologetic about the incident in subsequent comments. Mr. Dolan expressed his hope that Mr. Oakley would return to MSG as his guest in the near future.
That's big, man.
This was after Friday when he banned him from Madison Square Garden. But now, well, hopefully, Chuckster, this is an end to this this fiasco.
You know, I've been in the NBA for 30 years. This is probably the silliest, most BS thing I've ever seen in my 30 years in the NBA. This was a waste of time, waste of energy. It's a bad look for the Knicks. It's a bad look for Charles Oakley. It's a bad look for the NBA. And I cannot believe we're wasting all our time on this crap.
Well, obviously, Commissioner Silvers saw it that way, too, and said we need to sit down and talk and move forward on this thing.
Well, I think it does send a better message that they sat down after all of these supposed differences and were able to come to agreement. But
that's all Oakley wanted. That's all Oakley wanted was
that's all he wanted, and I think that's all everyone wanted.
Yeah.
Because even as a former player, you know, we felt what Oakley was feeling, and we also felt what Dolan was feeling.
What was that?
Well, you know, like disrespected.
You call all them people back and you don't call him back?
Yeah, so I just think overall this was.
That team.
I think this was
about toughness. It was all him.
But I'm just happy
showed
that
man some recognition.
You know,
That's all he wanted.
We're in the era of the clapback era, and I think this is a great way to say we don't have to all the time, and we can kind of figure out a way to come to agreement.
Yeah,
kudos to Adam Silver.
Yeah, no
and it took a comical turn almost yesterday when.
That was comical.
There were 7 former Knicks at the game, including Latrell Sprewell, who
this is the
going years back has had it out with Jim Dolan. So,
man, this is so silly.
So let's please.
Come on, man.
Let's close the book on this chapter.
Let me ask you a question.
Please,
how
let's
bad?
close.
Listen, no disrespect, and I'm gonna go there. How bad is the NBA that we spend all our time talking about stuff that's unimportant and insignificant?
Good. That's it.
We can't even just talk about basketball anymore.
Okay.
Well, you know.
So, all right.
I'm glad the meeting happened because I
am too.
I'm glad. I think that Oakley, you know, even though he was wrong in the incident, he did deserve better treatment, and he did deserve to have that meeting. So
Come on, man.
happy
All
for
right.
him.
What's up, guys? This is Big Mike. I pretty much, I know I say this a lot, man, but I agree with pretty much everybody on that panel on this one. Like, first of all, I agree with Shaq. I think that Charles Oakley was pissed off about it. Maybe, you know, it's kind of easy to say Oakley was in the wrong, but, you know, we didn't see the whole tape. Most of us didn't see the whole tape, so we don't know whether someone, you know, I think personally somebody put their hands on Oakley first, okay? Like you said, Oakley just wants respect, you know what I'm saying? He was, like Shaq said, he was the heart and soul of that Knicks team. He was the enforcer. When he was with the Bulls, he was the enforcer that we had back when the Bulls were not very good in the 1980s. Oakley was, you know, the enforcer. And we never really had I also always wonder how those Pistons-Bulls series would have went if Oakley was on that team instead of Horace Grant. Not to say that Oakley is better than Horace Grant, because I don't think so. I think Horace was a little bit better than Oakley. But you just never know, because Oakley was really an enforcer. And you wonder whether the Pistons would try some of that shit if Oakley was on their team. But, you know, Dolan shares responsibility too. I don't like the fact that the Knicks try to put out there that Oakley was an alcoholic. I've never heard any instance where Oakley was accused of alcoholism. I never heard anything about that. Okay, so that to me kind of, you know, I don't want to say it's racial stereotyping, but you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times when you attach negativity to African Americans, it tends to stick, and people tend to believe it more. And it sort of looked more as, it's not looked at as as much as a character flaw as it is you're a bad person. You know what I mean? Because it's ironic because James Dolan has had drug and alcohol issues himself. But Charles Barkley is right, too. This thing is a distraction, and it's really not important, okay? Like 10, 15 years ago, this would have been something that would have been in the news for like a couple of days, and then that's it. It's to the point now, I agree with Barkley, that the NBA is so bad that we're talking about tabloid shit. And it's something that you see in sports in general. Now you're starting to understand. I can understand now why a lot of people are kind of getting sick of boxing. They're getting sick of basketball. Even starting to possibly going to start seeing the NFL where it's more and more coverage on sideshow off the field and off the court stuff that shouldn't be even in the news unless it's something really newsworthy, you know, and less about the game. But hopefully this matter has come to an end. I mean, we've seen it constantly. We've seen it just recently with, you know, Barkley and LeBron James. I mean, that really was a non-issue. And I'm pretty sure that Barkley gets tired of it too. I mean, he's an analyst, he's controversial, but it should be like, okay, well, Charles said this and that, and that's it. I see people get personal about it. I mean, people say, you know, LeBron is this and that. I mean, look, I'm a YouTuber. Sometimes I make videos. I can't lie. Sometimes maybe I play into this too because I make videos saying certain things. I'm angry or whatever. But I would think that most people would understand that when I make videos, I try to be entertaining. I can't be on video. I think LeBron James is a good player, and but I think he should try harder to, you know, defer to some of his teammates. I think that he should play better on defense at times. He's not as good. Who wants to listen to that? So yeah, sometimes I jazz it up and I curse and I swear and I curse these guys out, and I mean it, but I'm entertaining you guys. Okay, so to me that's a little bit of a difference, you know what I'm saying? But I still respect all these guys, man. They come out here and play, whether it's LeBron James or whether it's, you know, the last guy on the roster, you know. But it need to be more of a focus on the game and less of a focus on this sideshow bullshit. Tell me what you guys think.